Hey guys, good morning. Coach Jen T here. I have had so much caffeine. I am just like so excited. And I don't know if it's a caffeine or if it's because it's my favorite time of year, spooky season. So if you know me, you know I'm like absolutely obsessed with Halloween. And typically we have 2 Halloween parties in the month of October. One is hosted by my daughter, by Laura. She's 6. And of course, Mommy has so much fun helping with that. And then at the end of October, I have an adult party. And then everything in between. I love everything about fall, everything about Halloween, the spooky decorations. Upstairs, typically for me, is like cute harvest, pumpkins, gourds, that kind of thing. But then down in our basement is bloody, gory, like really spooky, like poltergeist, skulls, bones, that kind of thing. So anyway, super obsessed with Halloween. Currently baking cupcakes for Laura's Halloween party. So we're very excited. And before I get into like my entire day of like event prep, like food and like games and fun and all that kind of stuff, I just wanted to like check in with you guys and give you some tips on how to plan ahead and be prepared. And the reason for that is because you got to live your life. You have to find that balance. But one of the biggest things that helps my clients is to be prepared. It helps me too. Like just be prepared, have a little bit of planning in place so that you can set those boundaries, expectations, and roll with it and have that plan. And so I've got some tips on like how to like set yourself up for success when it comes to making healthier choices and finding that balance. After we go through those 11 tips, I'm just gonna go over another few things that have to do with some grocery picks, because I know you guys love that. So 11 tips, I've got them down and I'm just gonna go through them and give a little bit of explanation. So number 1 is to get stocked up. How are you supposed to eat well if you don't have the healthy things in stock that you need? So make sure that you have that grocery plan in place where you're getting groceries before you actually run out. So make sure you're getting in that produce section. If you're stocked up on veggies and you're stocked up on fruits and proteins like meat, guess what you're gonna end up eating? Hopefully more veggies and protein like meat and fruits. So try to get more whole foods, get stocked up, get stuff in your pantry, and you are well on your way to being ready and prepared to make food from home, which gives you more control, versus not having any food in the house and getting takeout and not having as much control over how your food is prepared. The next thing, number 2, is decide ahead of time what is worth it to you and what is actually not worth it to you. So for example, if you know you're gonna go out to dinner and you're thinking about where you're going, or you have an idea of where you're going, a pizza joint, a bar pub, where you're gonna have like a lot of fried foods, plan ahead and set those expectations for yourself. What's worth it to me? Like, what am I going to truly enjoy? I have like clients that will say, you know, I'm going to have that glass of wine, or I'm going to have that martini, or man, this restaurant has like the best dessert. I am going to pre-track that, make it fit into my day, and I am going to enjoy every bite, because you gotta be flexible, right? A diet that doesn't bend breaks hard. So you wanna make sure that you have that plan in place, decide what's truly worth it, and then some things just aren't worth it. Like, you know what? Tonight, the appetizer, like getting some French fries or nachos or chips, I just don't feel like that today. So I'm going to take that and just like skip it for this time. It's not gonna be the last time I'm gonna not have chips, right? You're gonna have chips when you will feel like truly having them, when they're worth it to you, but you wanna make sure you're just deciding ahead of time what's worth it. Number 3 is divide your protein out evenly through the day. So for example, let's say I have a protein target of 120 grams. I want to divide that target by 3 meals a day and make sure I'm getting that much protein to the best of my ability at each meal. And the reason for that is because, you guys, protein is magic. Protein, I know it's like beating a dead horse, but like if you're getting your protein, you're boosting your metabolism. Your body has to like burn calories at rest to digest protein. You're building lean muscle, and who cares about weight on the scale, you guys? If you're getting more protein in your diet, you're shedding body fat and you are gaining lean muscle. So if you're taking those inches of your waist, of your hips, of your chest, whatever it is, keep taking those inches week after week if you're adding more protein to your diet, and dividing it out evenly helps you so that you're not at the end of the day being like, oh shit, Jen's gonna be mad at me because I didn't get 60, I have like 60 grams of protein left at the end of the day. And if you're in my coaching group, you know that I get mad at you often, right? So that's just another thing, divide that protein out. Number 4, foresee any obstacles or challenges and envision how you will tackle them. It's so easy to say, well, you know, like the weekend's coming up, I'm gonna try to do better, or, you know, this party's coming up, I'm gonna try to, you know, do this or that or whatever, like just kind of being very like vague. What really helps is being very specific. What action will you take at that event or obstacle that's coming up? For example, you know, I'm going to this party. I know that I'm gonna have a few beers. I am going to drink a glass of water between each drink to really stretch it out, maybe drink less than I planned, whatever that might be. Or envision, you know, going to this place where you've got tons of appetizers and yummy buffet style foods, and you know, you're envisioning, you know, I want to enjoy like a beautiful wreath, colorful plate of like a little bit of everything. But after I eat everything mindfully, taking action, knowing that I am going to just like switch to water and eat vegetables from there on out. That kind of thing, setting that plan and envisioning specifically how you will handle it with an action. Even if that action is a little bit better, it still counts as progress. Number 5 is to have grab and go options available for emergencies. This is huge, especially if you're travel for work, you're on the road for doctor's appointments, running to Bangor, going to Portland, going to Boston, whatever it is for work, for health, whatever. Having those options on hand with protein helps ward off getting hangry, overeating late at night, and just keeps you feeling full, and your metabolism keeps that metabolism rocking. So for example, a lot of my clients love carrying like a Quest bar in their purse because it's under 200 calories and 20 to 25 grams of protein. It's just great to have for that emergency. So when you are, you know, getting out late at home, getting out late from work and you're driving home, and versus getting home and you're famished and you just like super overeat on all kinds of like things that you're doing to prepare dinner, like, oh, the cheese and crackers look good, oh, the chips look good. You start snacking. Well, if you are focused on having that protein snack in case of emergency, you're gonna notice that you're not craving as much later in the day. Also, like for me personally, I mean, I love tuna, and like they have tuna packets, and I always have one of those like handy in my lunch bag at work because it's an easy, like 14 grams of protein, keeps you feeling full. So that's another option, or just like a scoop of protein powder that you can just shake up with a bottle of water if you're jumping into a gas station, that kind of thing. Super quick, super easy. Having that grab and go for emergencies is super important. The next thing is number 6, cut up veggies in advance. If you've got veggies and they're not cut up, like the carrots aren't peeled, your cucumbers are whole, your bell peppers are whole, it's hard to like eat them because who has time to chop and wash and all of that? So when you get home from the grocery store, or if you have a specific day of the week that works for you, like Sundays, like a quiet day, set aside like 30 minutes of time to peel, to wash, to chop, and just store everything in Tupperware. You can have separate Tupperwares for everything, or you can just have one big like open container of like all kinds of cut vegetables. And then when you're going to meal prep for the week, or when you're going to make a meal for the week, you just grab those cut vegetables and it makes it so much easier. And if you feel like snacking, it's just an easy grab and go. I'm gonna snack on some veggies just to get that crunch and keep me going till the next meal. Number 7 is to prep in separate Tupperwares to assemble meals, or separate containers to assemble meals. So meal prep doesn't have to be, here's my broccoli and chicken and rice, here's my 7 containers of broccoli, chicken, and rice. You could make up a couple proteins and have them in separate containers. So like maybe a chicken and a fish, or a chicken and a lean pork tenderloin, or something like that, your proteins. And then have like some various carbohydrates to work with. So maybe you have a Tupperware of cooked rice, or you have like some roasted potatoes in a separate container that's already been cooked. And then you have all of your veggies that are separately worked, so that you can, depending on what you feel like, have something different and assemble different meals through the week. You can decide you're gonna make a salad one day and use one of the protein options. You can decide you're gonna have a wrap one day and use a different protein option. You can always break up the different kinds of veggies so you don't get tired of it. You can change up flavors. You can have a Mexican shredded pork for one of your proteins, and then you can go like Asian and have like an Asian style like chicken stir fry kind of thing. So just switch it up, keep things separate so you can assemble and do what you feel like doing based on what you're in the mood for. Number 8, pack your lunch the night before. So oftentimes during the work week, if you're the typical Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 or whatever, like if you don't have a lunch planned, flying by the seat of your pants can be very difficult, right? So having that plan in place, so you pack your lunch the night before. It might be leftover like things from dinner, or just having it, knowing like, you know what, I've got my protein, I've got my snacks, whatever, everything is packed and ready the night before. That way in the morning, you're not hustling, you're not letting other things take the front burner ahead of like your own health and your own goals and your own priorities, and you're just ready for the day, the following day. Number 9, if you know you'll have a late night dinner, have your dinner planned or partially dropped or ready to reheat, partially prepped and ready to reheat and eat. So reheat and eat meals are like so great for people that get home late. Planning ahead, what am I gonna have for the evening, for dinner? And just like on a day that works for you, again, we talked about assembling different meals, have that stuff ready. Have your dinners ready so when you get home, you don't shoot for the bowl of cereal, because it's not gonna give you the nutrition you need to help you feel your best. And blood sugar spikes when you have a bowl of cereal for dinner. So you wanna make sure that you're just like taking care of your blood sugar, taking care of your health, having a healthy meal with protein and with veggies in the evening. Having that ready, especially if you have late nights, makes it so easy. And it also makes it so you're not grabbing that takeout or stopping at a restaurant. And then number 10, don't bash on frozen meals. Guys, like frozen meals aren't like the best for you, but they do sometimes beat McDonald's, or they beat KFC, or they beat Chinese food takeout, right? So if you have a couple frozen meals in your fridge, you can make your own frozen meals from scratch, but having frozen meals, there are a lot now that actually have a lot more protein in them. So you wanna look for a frozen meal that has like 25 plus grams of protein. I think Healthy Choice or something, some brand, makes what they call like power bowls, and they just have a little more protein. And then there's another new brand called Real Good, and I think that they have a lot more protein too. So having a few, you don't wanna live on frozen meals every night, but like if you need something in a pinch, having frozen meals is something to not bash, because sometimes we need it. For me personally, if I do have a frozen meal, the last time I had a frozen meal was probably maybe a couple months ago, and I just mixed my frozen meal with like a whole extra thing of steamed veggies because those frozen meals have tons of sauce in them. And so I doubled my veggies, or tripled basically. And it just gives you more protein, more veggies, keeps you feeling full, and helps you limit the calories that you're taking in the day. Number 11, and this is a bonus one, number 11 is plan for treats. Again, a diet that doesn't bend will break. You want to make sure that you're having those things. Fall is here. Holidays are coming. What's important to you? Enjoy the apple pie. Enjoy the pumpkin pie. Enjoy the pumpkin cookies. Planning ahead for treats. If you're in my program, you already know this and you already do this, but like track ahead of time, like what am I gonna have today? What's that 20% treat of my daily calories that I'm going to enjoy today at the end of the day or in the morning or whatever it is? What is it gonna be? What is it gonna be for me? The rest of the day will be mostly whole, minimally processed foods, but today I feel like this treat, I'm going to have it, I'm gonna make it fit, and I'm going to enjoy it. And that's huge, you guys, when it comes to sustaining long-term progress and feeling your best. That is it for that, you guys. Now I'm gonna quickly segment into some grocery finds. So here we go. A lot of them are repeats, but it's because like I can't help it and I want all of my clients to like add this stuff to their fridge. One is the Uncured chicken bacon by Alfresco. My sister-in-law actually tried this for the first time. She said it's really good. Like the bacon comes out crunchy. Put 2 slices on a paper towel, microwave it, and it's a great addition to breakfast or in a sandwich, like a turkey sandwich for lunch. It's super crispy. Next is the Delicata Squash. My friend Jenny gave me some. She knows I'm obsessed with squash, and Delicata is my favorite, and this is what it looks like. I slice it lengthwise, scoop the seeds out, cut it into half moon shapes this way, slice it, and then I toss it with olive oil and seasonings like garlic powder, salt, pepper, paprika, and air fry it at 400 until crispy, and it makes like fries. Super delicious. They're sweet. I like them better than regular French fries, and they come out crispy and they're so good. I found these new things. I actually haven't tried one yet, but they're at Walmart, called Alani Coffee, protein coffee, 10 grams of protein, 90 calories, 10 grams of protein, and then you've got 2.5 grams of fat and 9 grams of carbs. So if you're in my program, you would see and know like, wow, that's pretty macro friendly. I think I would enjoy this maybe over some ice with some almond milk to bulk it up a little bit, like unsweetened almond milk. And I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, you could probably use it as like coffee creamer too. But pretty good. And the flavor here is cappuccino. I got some to try. Maple donut. Hello, that looks delicious. All of these are 10 grams of protein. Vanilla, and then this one is mocha. So just as with food, we always coach to eat slowly. When it comes to things like this, try to sip slowly. 10 grams of protein, and I think it must have a little bit of caffeine too. So yes, 100 milligrams of caffeine, so less than a cup of coffee, but if you're looking for like an afternoon pick-me-up, that might be a good option. Pour it over ice, drink it out of the bottle. We'll see how it tastes, but I'm sure, I don't know how a maple donut flavor could taste bad. I'll let you know. And then I have these Lily's chocolate chips. This is the salted caramel ones. You can use these for baking. A little goes a long way, but personally, I will sprinkle like a little tiny bit on my oatmeal and it gets melty and it's so good. They're just basically stevia sweetened. So I think they're stevia sweetened, pretty sure. So just a little bit goes a long way. Yeah, stevia. Little goes a long way, and just like better than your average chocolate chip. There's just not a bunch of loaded added sugars. And then again, my tuna packets. I love my tuna. This is the deli style one. This one I like, this is my favorite. I like to make tuna melts with it or just eat it literally plain. If you love ranch dressing, I've shared this before, but the Bolt House Farms Classic Ranch, for 2 tablespoons, you get, it's 50 calories and it tastes just like regular ranch. Very good. I would dump this on every meal, every food. This is so good. This is the G. Hughes sweet chili sauce. It's 5 calories for 2 tablespoons. I like it literally on everything. For meat dipping, for adding to my eggs, anything. So good. And then the Pasta Zeros. This bag is kind of weird. It's refrigerated, it's liquidy, but it comes with some pasta, like little skinny stringy pasta. If you rinse it with water, you can easily make like a lo mein type of stir fry with it. I love this with just like steak and broccoli or chicken and broccoli, mixing it up with some teriyaki sauce and seasonings. You get the Asian flair there. It's so delicious. And then I actually just thought of this because I never checked my fridge. But I was talking about the Real Good, so I wanted to share with you guys what they look like. I forgot about the frozen section. So Real Good has like some new brand stuff. So these are crispy tots. I would air fry these hands down. It's for 10 pieces, 200 calories, and you do get 10 grams of protein. So these are higher like fat than normal, but it just depends on what you're in the mood for. You could have like a few of these on the side with whatever you're having if you do like tots. I haven't tried them yet, but I did try something else, the brand Real Good. It was like a chicken cordon bleu. It was so good that I bought some more of their brand things to try, and they're all in the frozen section at Walmart. This is another one, crispy chicken shell tacos. So one taco is 280 calories and 25 grams of protein. I'd probably toss this in the oven. But basically they're just like a lower carb option, but typically higher fat. So it just depends on what you want to work with. And then this one is the broccoli and cheddar cheese stuffed chicken. So the other one I had was the chicken cordon bleu, and it was pretty good. Now, when I said don't bash on frozen meals, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. I had that one chicken cordon bleu. It wasn't very big. It was like this big, but I had it with tons of vegetables. And it's not something I would have every day for a meal, but it is great in a pinch when you don't have time to like make a meal. That is it. Oh, one more thing. These shrimp grillers. This is marinated sweet chili. This came in the frozen section. For 3 ounces of shrimp, it's 80 calories and 10 grams of protein. I made this the other day in my air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, you guys, it just makes everything so easy. So I tossed this from frozen. They are raw shrimps. From frozen in the air fryer, sprayed it with some olive oil spray, and it cooked up beautifully in the air fryer. Everything gets all sizzly. Great to make it a meal with, like, of course, again, a bunch of vegetables. Don't forget your vegetables. So that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the 11 tips. Figure out which ones you want to take with you, put in your tool belt, and make sure you eat, you drink, you live your life, love your life, and you've got to find that balance. So don't ever feel restricted. A diet that doesn't bend eventually breaks. Have a good day.